White castles and checkmates black. Let's dive into one of the most spectacular chess games ever played. e4 e5 classic opening. White opens with the king's pawn, establishing control of the center, while black responds symmetrically, mirroring white's move. A symmetrical dance begins. nf3 nc6 white develops the knight, attacking the e5 pawn, and black answers with his own knight, reinforcing the center. Both players are calmly building their armies, no rush to start a fight yet. bc4 nf6 white brings the bishop to the c4 square, aiming at the f7 weakness, which is the soft spot in black's defense. Black develops his knight to f6, a solid move, but it also means his king is under slight attack. Little does he know, it's about to get spicy. ng5 d5. Here comes white's sneaky knight, jumping to g5, threatening a devastating attack on f7. Black, not wanting to wait around for disaster, pushes his pawn to d5, trying to block things up. But that's just playing into white's hands. A capture d5 knight capture d5 white's pawn captures the d5 pawn, and black recaptures with the knight. Now the center is opening up. It's getting lively. Both players now have more space, and it's time to see who can manage it better. Knight capture f7 king capture f7 boom. White sacrifices the knight for a bold check on f7. Black has no choice but to capture the knight. The king's exposed, and now black has to walk the tightrope. But hey, if you're Alonzo Morphy, you're probably thinking, I've got this. No problem. Queen f3 check king e6 white's queen springs into action, delivering a check. The black king is forced to step away, heading to e6 for some personal space. But that space is quickly running out. The black king looks like it might need a vacation, far away from the center. nc3 4 white develops the knight, building up pressure, while black's knight hops to d4. That's a good square for black, putting some pressure on the queen and covering key squares. But white's position is looking stronger by the minute. Bishop capture d5 check king d6 white takes the opportunity to clear out black's knight on d5 with a check. The black king is forced to run again, heading to d6. This king's on the move so much. You might think it's training for a marathon. Queen f7 check bishop e7 white checks again with the queen, and black blocks with the bishop. At this point, black is just trying to keep things together. But white's pieces are swarming like a well-oiled machine. The black king is trying its best to stay safe, but it's looking like an impossible task. Bishop capture e6 knight capture e6 white captures black's bishop on e6 with a check, and black recaptures with the knight. White is still in control and is tightening the noose. The black king is surrounded, and things are looking grim. na4 check king d5 white moves the knight to e4, once again forcing black's king to move. The black king now heads to d5, running out of safe squares. It's like trying to escape a maze with no exits. c4 check capture e4 white pushes the pawn to c4 with another check, forcing the black king to capture it. Every move by white just brings the end closer. It's like the final countdown in a heist movie, except this time, the only thing getting stolen is black's king's safety. Queen capture e6 queen d4 white captures the pawn on e6 with a check, and black responds by trying to block the check with the queen. But even black's queen is starting to look like it's on the losing side of this one. There's no place to hide. Queen g4 check king d3 white's queen swoops in again, delivering another check. And the black king has no choice but to move back to d3. Can this poor king even find a safe spot? Looks like it's just a matter of time. Queen e2 check, king c2, white's queen moves to e2. Checking the black king yet again. The black king shuffles to c2, probably thinking, is there a spa somewhere? I need some relaxation. But alas, there's no peace here. d3 check, king capture c1, white pushes the pawn to d3 with a check, and the black king takes it on c1. The black king is trying everything, but it's still surrounded on all sides. This is an uncomfortable game for black. White castles and checkmates black. The black king, despite all the running around, couldn't find any refuge. And with that, white wins. The moral of the story: sometimes, you can't run from a well-placed castle.